In the previous part, we witnessed the story between the brothers Isagi and Kaiser. With them being together earlier in the story, how this changed them as players. After the first match, Ego gathered everyone and told them something important. If they wanted to survive in Blue Lock, they had to find their weapon, something that made them special as a striker. Without it, they would never stand out. Everyone went quiet and started thinking about what their strength could be. But Kaiser didn't care. He just sat there, arms crossed, looking bored. He already knew his weapon. It was the Kaiser Impact. He had used it for years and had mastered it. He wasn't here to improve. He was only here to see what Isagi could do without him. Isagi, on the other hand, listened carefully. He began thinking about how he played. In the match against Team X, he wasn't the fastest or strongest, but he saw things others didn't. His ability to read the field and make quick decisions gave him an edge. That was his weapon, his sharp vision. And along with that, he had a solid direct shot that came from perfect timing and smart positioning. Back when he and Kaiser used to play together, Kaiser was the one who mostly scored. Isagi rarely took shots. Instead, he used his vision to give Kaiser perfect passes. He was the playmaker, and Kaiser was the finisher. Their teamwork was perfect, but Isagi was always in the background. Now, that had to change. Compared to the original timeline, Isagi's vision was a lot sharper owing to his time with Kaiser. Other players also began to understand their own weapons. Bachira found out that his dribbling made him special. Kunigami realized his powerful shot was his strength. Shigiri knew it was his speed. Everyone was starting to unlock their true potential. Their next match was against Team Y. It looked winnable, but something was missing. Kaiser. Before the match, some players tried to convince him to join. They knew his skills could help them win easily, but Kaiser didn't care. He wasn't interested. He just wanted to watch and see if Isagi could lead on his own. Isagi understood that winning without Kaiser would be very hard, but there was no point in convincing him, so he decided to step up and lead the team. He told everyone they needed to work together. He wasn't the strongest, but he was ready to guide them. Bachira stood with him. Some others agreed to play as a team, but didn't want to listen to Isagi. That's when Naruhaya snapped. Huh? Why should we follow you, Isagi? You're not a genius or some prodigy. What makes you think you're the one to lead us? The tension was heavy, but Isagi stood firm. Still, having some players on board was better than nothing. The match started. Right away, it was clear they were playing with only 10 real players. Kaiser stood off to the side, not moving at all. Isagi and Bachira tried their best to push forward. They passed, made runs, and looked for chances. But Nico from Team Y kept blocking their moves. His defense was smart, and he kept reading their plays. Isagi kept thinking and adjusting. He looked for openings. His vision helped him see where to pass and when to move. Bachira followed his lead and used the spaces created to get past defenders. Slowly, they started to find chances. And soon, they began scoring goals. Even though Kaiser didn't do anything, the rest of them started playing better. Isagi's vision helped everyone get into the right positions. More chances came and more goals followed. By the end, Team Z won the match. Kaiser never touched the ball, but they still won. Isagi's sharp thinking and teamwork helped them pull through. He didn't need to be the strongest, he just had to play smart. As the team celebrated, Kaiser finally looked up. He didn't say a word, but something had changed. For the first time, he seemed a little curious. Blue Lock was far from over, and Isagi was finally starting to show that maybe, just maybe, he didn't need his brother to succeed. With the current form they had built, Team Z went into their next match against Team W full of confidence. Isagi's vision had improved even more. He could read the game like a map, seeing spaces no one else could. During this match, he provided 3 perfect assists. His passes were sharp, timed perfectly, and opened up the defense again and again. Thanks to him, Team Z played with rhythm and unity, and they secured another win. Kaiser didn't move much during the match. He just stood on the sidelines, arms crossed, watching everything. At first, he thought this winning streak was just luck, but now he was starting to see the truth. Isagi was carrying the team. His vision, which Kaiser had once looked down on, was actually powerful, strong enough to turn a team of egoists into a real threat. Kaiser narrowed his eyes and muttered under his breath, "Maybe I underestimated him too much." Then came the final match of the first selection. Team Z was now up against Team V. This was no ordinary team. It was the team led by Ryo and Nagi. Their chemistry, skills, and creativity were on another level. From the very first whistle, it became clear that this was going to be a difficult match. Ryo and Nagi took control early. Their link-up plays were smooth and hard to stop. They moved in perfect sync, breaking through the defense and scoring the first 2 goals with ease. Team Z struggled to keep up. Even Isagi was caught off guard in the beginning. But Isagi didn't panic. He kept observing, watching every pass, every movement. He started figuring out how Ryo and Nagi were controlling the game. Slowly, he began changing his position and adjusting his passes. With each play, he opened up the field for his teammates. Using his vision, he helped Team Z score 2 goals, leveling the score 2-2. The match kept going back and forth. Nagi's calm control and Ryo's sharp passes continued to challenge Team Z. But Isagi kept answering back. His vision allowed him to find small openings, and his teammates used those chances as well. With just 2 minutes left, the score was 4-4. It was anyone's game now. Then, a moment of chaos. Nagi tried to dribble past, but lost the ball. Isagi reacted instantly. He picked up the loose ball and started the counter-attack. Bachira was right behind him, ready to help. But as defenders closed in, Bachira got surrounded. Isagi looked up. He had no one to pass to. Then he saw Kaiser, still standing, still watching. For a brief second, Isagi hesitated. Then he passed the ball to him and shouted, urging him to score. Kaiser looked at the ball and then at Isagi. In that moment, he remembered everything. The days they used to play together, the passes, the goals, the feeling of being part of something. Without saying a word, he stepped forward and shot. Kaiser impact. The ball flew straight into the net. The goal was perfect. The match was over. Team Z had won. Isagi ran toward him, excited, ready to celebrate. He raised his hand and said with a grin, "Let's go, Kaiser. We nailed it." But Kaiser walked right past him without saying a word. Isagi stopped, confused. But deep inside, Kaiser knew the truth. He had scored because of Isagi. And even though he had ignored him on the outside, something inside him had changed. He still wanted to play with his brother. With this, the first selection is over, and the players gather in a hall where their rankings are revealed. Isagi looked down and saw his number the same as others. He was surprised. He played well but didn't expect it to be like this. Kaiser checked his own uniform. His expression changed the moment he saw it. It was all fake. He couldn't believe it. In his mind, there was no way he should be behind anyone, especially not Isagi. Ego's voice echoed through the room, explaining that these ranks were based on actual performance during the first selection, not on talent or potential, just results. That explanation didn't sit well with Kaiser. Being ranked below Isagi felt like an insult. He stayed quiet, but inside, he was furious. He made a decision. He was going to crush everyone and prove he was the true number one. Next was the first task of the second selection, scoring against an AI goalkeeper. Kaiser stepped up and smashed the ball into the net with a clean Kaiser impact. He passed easily and expected to be the first one to do so, but someone had already passed. It was Rin. Kaiser noticed the number 1 printed on Rin's uniform. He stared at him in silence. Rin didn't even look back. Isagi passed the test too. Without waiting, Kaiser picked a few random players and challenged Rin's team. He didn't say much. He just walked forward and made it clear he wanted a match. This time, it wasn't Isagi stepping forward to challenge Rin. It was Kaiser. And now, things were about to get serious. It was time for the match between Rin's team and Kaiser's team. As both teams stepped onto the pitch, the tension was high. The moment the whistle blew, Kaiser wasted no time. With sharp movement and perfect timing, he fired a powerful shot into the net. It was a perfect Kaiser impact. Just like that, the score was 1-0. Ryu and Tokimitsu stood frozen. They had heard the hype, but seeing that goal up close was something else. Kaiser looked pleased with himself. With a smug smile, he glanced at them and said, "This is gonna be easy. Try to keep up if you can." In his mind, the match was already won. This kind of confidence was nothing new to him. The media has always painted him as a football genius. Fans called him a hero, a future superstar. It made sense that he believed no one could touch him after his performance in the national tournament. But then, Rin took control. From that point on, everything changed. Rin's plays were sharp, fast, and completely controlled. He read every move Kaiser made and shut him down with ease. On offense, Rin was unstoppable. He scored again and again, making it clear that this match belonged to him. Kaiser was overwhelmed. His usual rhythm was gone. Every attempt he made was blocked. For the first time in his life, he lost the match. And not just any match. He was completely outplayed. With Kaiser not being able to take the football path through Bastard München, this was truly the first time he was faced against true competition. He needed a tool to get him goals. After the final whistle, Kaiser stood in silence. He stared at the ground, unable to speak. Everything he had believed about himself started to crack. The idea that he was untouchable had been destroyed by Rin. Meanwhile, Isagi was preparing for his own match. He had picked Bachira and Nagi as his teammates. Together, they made a strong team. Isagi's vision, Bachira's creativity, and Nagi's technique blended perfectly. They faced off against the team of Kunigami and Shigiri's team. It was a tough match, but Isagi managed to pull off a win against them. In the end, Isagi's team won and moved to the next round. While Kaiser struggled with his first real defeat, Isagi continued to rise. And now, the gap between them had started to shift.